everybody, Kelly Marcus with Pampered Chef here. I just got home from picking all the kids up from their sports and activities, and now it's time to cook dinner. So poured myself a glass of wine, and I've opened up this month or this season's best, and we're gonna make some burrito cups. So let me tilt you down and I'll show you what I've already gotten started. Okay, first off, I already have the steak going. So this called for a skirt steak, but I didn't have any, so I used this. It said to sear it for 2 minutes and let it rest for 5. I did mine for 5 minutes, and now I'm gonna let it rest for 5. So I'm just gonna turn that off and leave that there to rest with some grilled onions. So I seasoned the steak with some garlic powder and salt, both sides, and I have the onions there, you can see. Then I just spritz down using my kitchen spritzer and let it go. So we'll get on now with the sauce and the toppings while that meat rests. I should actually probably pull it off the heat really quick so that it can really fully rest and get those juices redistributed there. So I'm gonna pull those off and set them back here. And we'll get that going. All right, so even before I started this, actually, I will show you, I preheated my oven to 375 degrees, and I took some tortillas, and I sprayed them off both sides, and I put them in our large muffin pan. I'm gonna pop you back up just a little bit. In our new large muffin pan, and put them in the oven at 375 for about 10 to 12 minutes, and it made these fun little cups, and this is what we're gonna build our burrito bowls in. All right, so I'm gonna put those back there, and we are going to work on our sauce. This is kind of a fun little tangy sauce, and I'm gonna make it in the manual food processor here. It calls for 1 cup of ranch dressing. Oh, I just made a mess, poured too soon. Wanted to make sure I had my finger on there, so I didn't get it in the hole there. But I'm just gonna scrape that in and grab a towel real quick to clean up my mess. And then we'll continue on. All right, actually, I'll just take this whole thing. You know how I say this is live? Well, this is what happens. I make a mess. Okay. So we've got that, and to that we're gonna add some cilantro. So it's about a 1/4 cup. I really like cilantro, so I'm just gonna throw all of that in there. And then it also calls for some pickled jalapenos. This is gonna give it a little heat and a fun flavor. And you need a 1/4 cup of that. So I've got my little measuring cup here. And we'll open this up. Oh, looks like we've got carrots on top, not jalapenos, so I might have to dig a little bit for my jalapenos and stick them in our measuring cup. I probably could just eye this out too, it might even work better, but all right. You know what? I'm just gonna have to use my fingers here. All right. I've actually never worked with pickled jalapenos before, if you can't tell. It's probably painfully obvious, but we're just gonna stick these in here. That looks like about, that one has a little stem on it. I don't wanna eat that. Okay, about a 1/4 cup. Throw that in there. Put this to the side and stick our lid on, and away we go. This little manual food processor is great for little sauces and salsas. I also like to use it a lot for making frosting. It's just a perfect little size. If you have a camper where you need, don't have a lot of space, this is really great for campers as well. It's a great way to get kids to participate. They love pumping on this thing. You kind of have to go a little bit fast. I'm just worried about my wine over there. I don't know if you can see it all squashing all. All right. So there we have, ooh, that looks great. There we have our sauce, and I'm dripping everywhere. My ranch dressing is homemade, and it is thicken up real great. Okay. We're gonna stick this off to the side. Now you could put this in your, make it ahead of time and put it in your refrigerator until you're ready to go, or just do like I did and make it right beforehand. Okay, so to these, we are also going to have some shredded lettuce, some Monterey Jack, and I could, you know, shred my own lettuce and shred my own cheese, but you know, it's one of those nights, and so we're just going with the pre-made stuff because it's quicker. All right, and we're gonna also put in some black beans. This is in the recipe, but it's also a great substitute for my one daughter who does not like red meat. This is perfect for her because she can just double up on the beans and I don't have to worry about her protein for tonight. So I really appreciate that that's in this recipe. So we're gonna open up this can with the Pampered Chef can opener, which again does not cut the can, it actually just breaks the seal, so there's no sharp edges. Once you learn how to use it, you'll love it. I can almost guarantee, and I'm just gonna drain this using my Easy Read measuring colander right into there. And I'm gonna bring these over to the sink and give them a quick rinse. So stick with me here as I do that. One of these days I'll have a kitchen where y'all can see everything I'm doing, but right now it just doesn't work out that way. All right, and last but not least, I'm going to cut up a little tomato. This is a serrated tomato knife. Makes all the difference in the world when you're cutting a tomato because you don't have to squash it. It just glides right on through. And I have always hated cutting tomatoes, but I don't mind it so much now that I have the proper tools. It's one of the things I love about Pampered Chef is it's really just about having the proper tools for things, and it makes things go so much quicker and easier, and makes kitchen time that much more enjoyable. All right, we're almost done with this. And then I'm gonna cut the meat or slice up one of those steaks and we'll put it all together. So, see how easy that is, folks? Well, now as I say that, then it slides all over right when I say that, right? Isn't that how it always goes? Alrighty, I'm gonna use our new little board scraper here to scrape those up and put them in, and I'm still making a mess because that's how I roll. All right, and there we have our tomatoes. I'm gonna close this up because I'm just like afraid I'm gonna hit it with my arm and then get burnt. All right, we don't need this, we don't need that. We don't need that. I'm gonna wipe this down and we will cut one of these beautiful seared steaks and build one of these cups. So, I'm just gonna slice this against the grain. It's got just a tinge of pink. That's actually a little bit more well done than I like. That's actually well done. I'm more of a medium rare kind of gal. So I probably could have gone, 3 minutes instead of 5 on this one. The other one's a little bit thicker, so it's probably gonna be more rare. All right. Let's pull our cups over and make some room here. And I'm just gonna build one of these babies. So you can see what it's gonna look like. I've got my lettuce, it's gonna go right in there. I've got my beans there, my tomatoes. I could put those on top. The other thing I love about this kind of thing is, each person in your family can build it the way they want. So if there's an ingredient they don't like, you don't have to worry about that. Throw a couple pieces of steak on there and get myself another spoon to drizzle some of this yummy sauce. And you could use, just regular salsa if you want, or anything like that. But there is dinner, folks. This will be great with a side of Mexican rice, some beans, you know, whatever floats your boat. You could add some guacamole. In fact, in the comments, why don't you tell me what you would put in your burrito cup? Have a great night and happy cooking.